maybe spirit's a bad word to use. It should maybe have some kind of scientific word. Energy, your energy source, the energy of who you are. For example, we know that the universe is made up of the fabric of time and space. So what you are essentially is a magnificent collective grouping of energy, which is in the form of atoms, quarks, protons, neutrons, etc., which is formed itself into molecules, which are essentially what you are. Now, the fabric of the universe consists of energy, that is these atoms, which are these molecules, etc. Now, when you are, the first time that you are conceived and your brain starts to function is when you develop a spirit, or the energy of who you are. Kind of think of it as the energy of the molecules that make up your body. So you're sitting in this fabric of time and space, which I describe as a big giant cotton ball. That's your environment. Now, what you're essentially doing is manipulating molecules, and therefore manipulating atoms, therefore manipulating protons, neutrons, getting them to react and interact and move around, etc. Well, in the fabric of time and space, what you've also done at the same time is created a spirit for yourself. And this is not only for human beings, this is for ants, rabbits, goats, dogs, cats, horses, whatever. Anything that's alive that can make these assessments, that has a brain, or can make assessments, has a spirit as well. Because essentially the fabric of time and space is one big gigantic ball of energy that's interacting with itself. And because you're doing that through the use of molecules, you're also creating at the exact same time a spirit for yourself, whether you be human or some other type of animal, that exists within this realm of the fabric of time and space. One of the laws of physics is that energy can't be lost. So that when you die, all that means is that your molecules aren't cohesive anymore. They're not staying together, they're separating, they don't have what it takes to interact with each other, and they die and they fall apart, and you either become a worm food or bird food or bacteria food, or you just turn into dust, depending on how you die. But the energy of that you created by thinking, interacting, seeing, feeling, that's still there. It hasn't. That part of the energy spectrum, whatever it may be made up of, because there is no name for it. The energy that you manipulated to create your thinking processes through the interaction of molecules and atoms does not disappear. It's still there. It's essentially a blueprint of your brain. And wherever you die, and I think it's wherever your head lies, that's where you still are. So your dog, your cat, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your wife or husband, whoever has died, maybe even your child, they still exist. That energy, due to the laws of physics, cannot disappear. It's still there. You got to remember that you're not just molecules. there's not just molecules there. Those molecules break down into atoms, break down into energy, and these energy patterns interact with each other. And because they interact with each other, they are connected throughout the entire universe. So that it's to the point where if you concentrate very much on another individual, you will actually connect yourself to them, to the point where you will have an inkling, not an exact picture, but an inkling of what they're up to or what they're feeling at any given moment, if it's intense enough. Because you got to remember, there's a long distance between you and them. But it's like holding it's like having one of those primitive child phones that are like a tin can, a bean can, that's connected to a string which is far away. And if you talk on it and the other person's listening, they can hear it. It's the same principle. The molecules of that bean can that you speak into, you speak into the bean can, you're vibrating the air, which vibrates the can, which vibrates the string, which vibrates the other can, which vibrates the air, which produces sound, which goes into the ear. Well, it's the same thing with the fabric of time and space. Your brain is using the fabric of time and space to operate, and it can manipulate this energy source or this energy pattern so that you can know what the other person is feeling to a point, because it can get a little misguided by distance. And the energy of your brain's thought patterns, the way your brain was set up when you died, carries a signature into the energy of the fabric of time and space that does not go away. It's still there. So your loved ones, even though you lost them, they're still actually alive. They can't think, react, or do anything without a human body. But the energy pattern of what they were, or call it a spirit if you want, it still exists, and it's still buried in the ground. And this proves, if you can grasp that you're manipulating energy because you think, you do and you think and you see, you're manipulating the energy that's patterns that are the molecules that are the atoms of your brain, so therefore you're manipulating the fabric of time and space, which is, that manipulation is your spirit. Which is why you can't exist without a human body. You're just as good as asleep when you die. Whew. Well, that's the easiest way I could put that. So I don't know, can you grasp what I just said?